Mary. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks on how to use my light coverage, nice lightly tinted BB Flawless BB cream that you can find at minutewithmary.com. But I'm also going to go over this week's Bundle 2 holiday special. Whether you are in the holiday mood or not, I sure am, because I believe that getting the holiday spirit, getting all that jolliness a little bit early, plus getting some of your shopping done early makes for a nice, extended, happy, stress-free holiday season. So at minutewithmary.com, I share all sorts of tips and tricks about skincare and makeup products, whether they are for you or as giftable items. And I will tell you this, all of my items are made in the US. So if you are concerned about buying gifts for other people, worried about them being stuck on cargo ships, who knows where, right? Know that anything that you get through me will be shipped very quickly to you because I am located right here in the US. I also do sell in New Zealand, Australia. I've got a warehouse right there, Canada and Mexico, and a bunch of countries in Europe. Each of those places have their own warehouse distribution center. So if you are in one of those countries, you don't need to worry. I do have warehouses there. And for the next 6 weeks, I'm having, 10 holiday specials all together. So we already had week 1, which was last week. It was a mask-proof lip stain plus my 4D mascara. This week, it's all about the foundation base face. So you can actually get yourself your foundation and a concealer, or a foundation and a brush for just $50, which is essentially like you are getting the concealer or the brush for $1. It is a massive saving. So who is this good for? Well, if you yourself are a foundation user, let me know in the comments below. I see some people tuning in right now. Do me a favor, whether you're a foundation user or not, put hashtag #HelloLovely right there in the comments. This month, the month of November, I'm especially wanting to make sure that I'm helping bring some joy and light into your life, and that is a great way by putting hashtag #HelloLovely to wave to me over the interwebs, to give me a virtual high five, and to cheer me on along the way. So as I was saying, this week, Bundle 2 at minutewithmary.com comes with your choice of foundation. And my goal this week is to go live and share with you the different types of foundations that I cover. But in each video, I am going to share with you the different types quickly. So today I am going to be demonstrating this product. It's the BB Flawless BB Cream. This is a light foundation. Light meaning a lot of your skin is still going to shine through. So you can see I've got a lot of freckles and some age spots. Those will still shine through a little bit, but it is going to tone down just the unevenness of my skin. So it's a great option for people who like the no makeup look, people who are new to makeup, teenagers, people who have a lot of fine lines and discolor, fine lines and kind of texture in their skin, but they just want a little bit of something, because this is really hydrating. So it will not settle in your fine lines or texture. It's going to add a beautiful, youthful, dewy glow. And if you'd like to have this kind of coverage, but not necessarily have the dewy effect to it, we have some other options for you. So I am going to be demonstrating this. Now, the cool thing with this is you can actually amp up the coverage to more of a medium coverage by applying more product and using a tool, or by using a little bit of concealer and mixing the two together. It creates an amazing coverage. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Thank you for the hashtag #HelloLovely. And hi, Nicole. How are you doing, my friend? Rachel says, I literally just put on my BB today for light coverage day. How cool is that? Great minds think alike, Rachel. Great minds think alike. So please forgive me as I am air drying my hair. I had all these plans to blow dry my hair, and then I decided to not do it. I'm trying to do some air drying and then using some hot rollers later. So we're going to see how that goes. So as this video goes on, my hair will dry, and it's just going to be what it is. So I'm going to quickly go through the different types of foundations that I have, and then I am going to begin applying this. I do want to let you know I already have applied face primer, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I am letting that sink in my skin as I chat. So I've got my BB Flawless BB Cream, light coverage, can go up to medium depending upon if you use more product or if you use a sponge or a type of kabuki brush to apply it with, or if you mix it with concealer. So this is when we're demoing today. Next, if you're going for more medium coverage, oh, actually, I'll stay with the light. You can actually accomplish light coverage with a pressed powder. So if you're looking for a matte light coverage, you would get yourself a pressed powder with a very fluffy brush. When it comes to brushes, the thicker and more densely packed the bristles are going to be, the more heavy your coverage is going to be, the more full your coverage is going to be. So just to give you an idea of a heavy brush versus a light brush, this right here is a kabuki brush, really densely packed to if I use this with the pressed powder, I would get full coverage. Say goodbye to all those freckles and age spots. Whereas this right here, this is my setting powder brush. It's the fluffiest brush I have, or kind of this powder puff brush, nice and soft. You can see the bristles really kind of splay out. That will give you more of a light coverage. So you just kind of feel those brushes, but that's going to let you know what kind of coverage you get. So if you want a matte light coverage, I would get yourself the pressed powder with a setting powder brush and just lightly dust. What I love about this, and honestly for friends who have any foundation, if you're already well set with your foundation, I do suggest you get yourself your backup in the pressed powder, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it comes with a mirror, a little sponge so you can do touch-ups, and it's always nice to actually be able to dust it over your other foundation to amp up the coverage and to set it. So if you're really looking for long-lasting wear, maybe you have holiday parties coming up, even if you put BB Flawless on, this right here is actually my favorite combination for those of you who have much more mature skin with lots of fine lines. You know, I'm not trying to say much more mature. Let me rephrase that. Skin that has some fine lines, skin that maybe you've had some issues with makeup settling. This is going to give a really hydrating barrier. It's going to give a lot of nourishment. And then this on top with just a light dusting, it will amp up the coverage and mattify it a little bit. So pressed powder for flexibility, light to full coverage depending upon which tool you use. Then we've got my new Liquid Serum Plus foundation. You always have to give it a good old shake anytime it's a liquid or cream-based product. As you turn it, it opens up right there with a little dispenser. You apply this either directly on your primed skin, on the back of your hand, on a palette, or on a brush. I don't like to put it on a brush as I find it just sinks into the bristles, but some people like to do that. This can be medium to full coverage. It's buildable. I like this because it's a very realistic skin-like texture. You can actually just use like 2 drops and it will be a nice light coverage. It has more of a satin finish. So it's in between that dewy and that matte. This looks lovely with pressed powder on top of it as well. I've been using this a lot this year. I do not find it drying. And it sits very nicely on my skin. Rachel says, if I have to wear a mask somewhere, I dust over my foundation with the pressed powder to help prevent my makeup from rubbing off on my mask. I love that tip, Rachel. Such a good tip. Thank you. Another product that I wanted to share with you. Dun, 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 I just had them out. Oh, here we go. Is my no, I want to go stick. This is the most full coverage. I had the sticks. Here we go. Is the stick foundation. So stick foundation is a hydrating, dewy finish. Very, very easy to use. And it can go light to full coverage as well. So if you want the flexibility of light to full coverage, you're looking at matte pressed powder or dewy stick foundation. The stick foundation is so easy. You literally take it, draw all over your face, and then you take your kabuki brush and buff it out. So the kabuki brush is my favorite when it comes to this product, the stick foundation. If you'd like more light coverage, you just draw a little bit on your face. If you want full coverage, you go to town and then you blend it out. It is a beautiful, beautiful creamy formula, great on all skin types as well. And then last but not least, for full, like super duper full coverage, you're going to go for the spray foundation. I am going to demonstrate this in a day or so. I don't particularly always do spray foundation because I have a lot of freckles and I feel like I like my freckles and I want my freckles to shine through. I almost look like a different person without my freckles, but there are times that I do want that full coverage. And I know a lot of people may have discoloration that they're not necessarily comfortable with and they want to get that full coverage. That will be the spray foundation. There is no in between. You don't go light to full, you go straight full with this. And the best tool for that would either be the kabuki brush once again, or just a damp blending bud to help press it into your skin, and that has a satin finish. So now that I've gone through all the different types of foundations that you can choose this week, once again, it's like you're getting it 50% off, either to stock up on your favorite product, maybe to get your winter shade, or as I said, have a little bit of an option so you can do a little something different. It's a great, great deal. So I'm going to take my BB Flawless BB Cream. You always got to shake it up. Shake it like a Polaroid picture, all right? Get back to the early 2000s right there for you. You can apply this with your fingers, a blending bud, or like a kabuki brush. If you use your fingers, you're going to get very light coverage. So I'm just going to demonstrate for you on half of my face, light coverage with the BB cream, and then more medium coverage by using a tool. So you can just take a little bit, always apply your foundation, not in your hair, moving the hair away, always apply your foundation in the center of your face and then blend it out. That's going to give you a really, really natural look. Now, what I am going to tell you is I'm going to do it light on one half of my face, medium coverage on the other half, and then I am going to go back and even it out and have medium coverage on both sides. I find for light application, after I've used face primer, I let that sit for a little bit, I can just use my fingers and I get a really, really nice light application with this product. If you're one of the people that honestly has to put your makeup on in the car, you can't beat this one. It's so, so easy. And as Rachel said, it's a great one for if you have to wear a mask. You know, if you just want a little bit of light coverage, but you don't necessarily want it to get all over your mask. I find this one to be pretty good in regards to little transfer. So already you can see it's adding some of the dewiness. I want to add a smidge more, but it's just toning things down and evening things out just a little bit. Can you see any difference? I can in regards to the amount of pink in my face. Okay, I don't know if you can. Let me know. I might need to do a smidge more so you can see it over camera, as camera sometimes throws things off, but I can see more pink on this side. I didn't even really do my nose, so I probably should do my nose a little bit. I kind of cheated. You're like, Mary, where's the line? When it comes to light coverage, it's a little sometimes hard to see, as I said, over camera, the differences, because it's about letting your natural coloring shine through. But there are plenty of people that they just want that. They just want a little something. This is a great one, as I said. Maybe if you have a teenager in your life, a niece, a daughter who wants to start using a little bit of makeup. Maybe you've got someone who, maybe it's yourself, who maybe you never have used makeup, but you've gotten to a time in your life where maybe you're going back into the office and you've noticed that your skin isn't the way that you want it to be. This is a great product for you to try out. Hi, Erica. Thank you so much. Oh, Rachel, you are so sweet. So sweet. She's saying she learned the best makeup hacks from me, like starting in the middle and blending out. That is so sweet. Don't forget, if you're joining me now, to use the hashtag Hello Lovely. It's the way to wave. So this is the side with BB cream. Can someone comment below if you can see at all a difference? As a light coverage. So you can still see freckles. You can actually still see some of my natural flush. Okay, when I wear BB cream, I do not feel the need to contour, to bronze, to add blush. I sometimes choose to, but I don't feel the need to, because your natural coloring and dimension still shines through. Now, what's great with this is you can still add concealer. Just because you're using BB cream doesn't mean that you can't use concealer to brighten up your skin. So I am going to use a shade that is one shade lighter than my skin tone, and I'm going to brighten up and kind of fix my eye right there. This is a great way to apply my Skin Solution Concealer. So the bundle comes with a foundation and a concealer, or a foundation and a brush. Any of the foundations, any of the brushes, any of the concealers. So I'm just going to take my ring finger. Once again, just demonstrating for you that you don't necessarily need a tool when it comes to the BB cream. You can, and I know a lot of people hate using their finger. There's one woman that is in my company, and she's like, oh my gosh, I get so grossed out when people use their fingers. Oh well, I love my finger. I think we were designed with some of the best tools known to man, and that is our fingers. But to each their own. Okay, so you could see I applied it, really focusing on the inner corner of my eye to help brighten, and then a little bit up here to give a lift. So you can still use concealer to brighten. You can actually use your same face shade concealer if you're more nervous about acne and scarring or any little spots right there. But if you don't need full coverage everywhere, you can just kind of spot treatment that with concealer. So this would be light coverage foundation with a little bit of my full coverage concealer, and you can see the massive difference that it made, right? I hope you can see it, because I can see it. I hope you can on camera. Nicole says, I have found that my dry eye skin, a blending bud where it's best for applying concealer. Yes, so I was going to get into that. So if you have dryness in your eye, especially this time of year, I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions. First off, since Nicole brought this up, I'm going to make sure that we're recommending eye cream. So eye cream is really going to be helping saturate in all of that goodness that you need for that all day and all night wear, to get the nutrients and hydration into your skin. The next suggestion that I have is to actually think about getting my hydrating primer. So there's an add-on to my bundle. You can get your foundation and concealer, or foundation and brush, like I said, and then for an additional $20, which is a half off discount, you get to choose your primer of choice. So you can choose, a mattifying primer if you like more of a matte look, or you have oily skin, a hydrating primer if you have dry skin, an all-around primer for my normal skin friends. But I will tell you this, I don't usually use the hydrating primer. sometimes towards the, the really cold, bitter times of the winter, but most of the time I don't necessarily use it. My skin is more normal and I have some large pores. So I choose the mattifying primer most of the time. But this time of year, when the weather does get drier, I do notice a change in my under eye skin. So if you are someone who does battle with kind of crepiness and dryness under your eyes and you're already using your good skincare, but then when you put on your concealer, you're noticing that it's kind of bunching up, what I recommend and what I did today, because the changing of the seasons is happening to my eyes and you can almost see, you see how like the dewiness under my eye, I use the smallest amount of hydrating primer for only under my eyes. So this tube I'm using for my under eyes this winter season, and that's about it. Now these last really, really long. So if you do have that issue, but you do want to brighten under your eyes, if you already have a face primer, and you're happy with it and you don't have the hydrating primer, I would suggest this. It's going to be a game changer, and it actually acts like a sealant to really keep that eye skincare, from blending with your makeup, keeps it from evaporating away, and then when the concealer goes on, it just goes on so beautifully. So as you saw, Nicole, I was able to blend it with my finger because I have that hydrating primer underneath. But if you don't have that and you do feel that you have some dryness, get yourself a damp blending bud. So these little blending buds you can buy at the dollar store, you can buy at Target, any kind of place. Get it really, really wet, squeeze out all the extra water, but it's still damp because it is a sponge, and then you just gently pat. Pat, 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 pat. What this will do is it will actually press it and meld it into your skin. So it won't be sitting on top of your skin and it won't be showing any of the lines or anything like that, but it will more meld it into your skin. The concealer does dry nicely, so it's not going to be moving too much all over the place, but I find by pressing it either with my ring fingers like this or with the damp blending bud, I don't have issues with any of that kind of creasing or anything. So let me know if that helps, Nicole. Let me know if that helps. So can you see the difference of the foundations? Because I definitely can. Yay, Nicole! So I'm going to now do medium coverage with the BB cream on this half of my face, just to share with you how, if you wanted this kind of a foundation, it can amp up the coverage in a couple of different ways. So first way, as I was saying, is you can use a kabuki brush. You can use a type of tool. When you're using a tool and when you're going for more medium coverage, you will use more product. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, except I was surprised the first time I did it. I was like, why am I using more BB cream? I usually only use a couple little drops of it. Oh, it's because I'm using a tool and the tool is taking some of it, and also I'm trying to get fuller coverage or medium coverage. So I like to apply it on the back of my hand rather than on the tool itself, and then I just kind of pat the tool around so that way the product gets evenly dispensed on it rather than just like plopping it on and having one big blob. So remember we talked about going in the center of your face and then blending out. So this is the kabuki brush. And if you're looking for a face brush to apply your foundation, this would be a great one for honestly all of the foundations that I sell. So once again, you're able to see that dewy coverage that you can get right here. And it's just working wonders. So I don't know. I really like it. I haven't been using BB cream that much this year. I've been using more of my new liquid with the skincare serum built inside because it's just been working wonders on my skin. But this is my go-to on days when I do just want that little light coverage, or in the summer. I love the BB cream. And as I said, this is my favorite option for people who are just starting out with makeup, people who, are younger and they don't necessarily want that crazy, crazy full coverage, people who have very dry or, lines all in their skin, some texture in your skin. So there you go. So you can see it amped up a bit more coverage, and I'm going to add a little smidge more. Always blend down to your neck. BB cream is a great one, especially if you're someone who has a very light neck. Like this time of year, obviously most of us are losing any of our summertime color, but generally your face is darker than your neck. So when I color match you, particularly if I go for full coverage like spray, if I color match you, I'm most likely going to be matching you closer to your neck, because full coverage means that it's going to be more more saturated, more pigmented. So if we went too dark, it would look like you were wearing a mask of makeup. But a lot of people find that when they match their neck, they're not used to seeing themselves that light. They're just not, particularly if you've never worn full coverage that actually matches you properly. What's great with BB cream is because it's more of a light coverage, it is a little bit more flexible, and you can blend a little bit down there, but you don't have to worry about that makeup line. So if you are someone who's ever struggled with that, hate the look of like, like you're wearing makeup, BB cream's going to be your jam. So I just applied a little bit more because I wanted to show a little bit more of this more medium coverage. But as I said, you can either amp it up with a little bit of concealer. You can see very few freckles. You can see them more here, and if you were in real life, you'd see a few more popping through, whereas here you can see they're a bit darker. So this is more of a medium coverage with that BB cream by utilizing a tool. A tool makes a big, big difference, and of course, utilizing a little bit more product. So now I'm going to go and apply it on this side and do a little bit more concealer. But I hope all of you are enjoying November so far. It's crazy to think that we're already here. The kids were already talking about Thanksgiving and the things they wanted to do. And, you know, we're, we generally host Thanksgiving as I get makeup all in my eyebrow. Goodness Mary. Goodness me. We usually host Thanksgiving. And I want to try a couple of different recipes. So I actually went to Trader Joe's today. Trader Joe's is one of my favorite places to shop. Do you like Trader Joe's? Do you get excited there? Everyone there is just so nice and friendly. It's like the Starbucks of food shopping. Everyone's just jolly and kind, and they genuinely seem like they want to make sure that I checked out the flyer to see all of the seasonal goodness. And I don't know, they're just super sweet. So I went to Trader Joe's because they had in their flyer, I'm a sucker for that flyer, these green bean casserole bites. So like phyllo dough, little mini bites with green bean casserole with the little crunchy French onion things all over it. And it's meant to be an appetizer, or you can be having it instead of your green bean casserole. So my kids have not been eating green bean casserole, and there is a part of me, I'm going to go in with that lighter shade of concealer now to brighten up this eye. This is a lighter shade. You can use your same foundation shade, just to give you a heads up in case, when you apply concealer, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want it that light. You don't have to. We can also match your skin tone. But this is the direction of which, if you're 35 or older, this is one of the ways I want you to think about applying concealer. A little bit where the most discoloration in this, and then a little bit up here, blending of course, but remember, just like when we applied the foundation in the center of your face, where you apply your product first is going to be the most saturated with color. So we want to fix this discoloration, and we want to add some lift. So I'm just going to take that finger, and I will take that blending bud, as I know that is Nicole's jam, and as I said, it works really, really nicely. I love this. It gets rid of all those freckles and veins. But yeah, we're going to try out these little green bean casserole bites. They come in a 10-pack. Look at me. I should be like repping Trader Joe's, but they come in a little 10-pack, and I want to see if the kids will eat them this way. It is something that I could probably recreate if they do end up liking it. And if they don't, there's only 10 of them, so I can probably eat them all within a couple of days or in one day. But yeah, we're just trying out. I mean, I love the traditional Thanksgiving food, and Blake is someone who, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We don't need to do some different kind of cranberry sauce or stuffing or anything like that. But I don't know. I just kind of want to have like one extra thing. One or two extra things that are a little different. So I'm just taking that damp blending bud once again, lightly pouncing, meshing it in, and there you go. So light to medium coverage can be achieved with your BB Flawless BB Cream. You can even take your skin tone of concealer rather than a brightening one, put that in the back of your hand, mix it up, and then apply it, and you're going to even get more medium to full coverage. If you just had a little thing here or there, like I've got some pretty loud age spots, like right here along the sides of my cheeks, I could go in with that same skin tone colored foundation, skin tone, like my regular skin tone shade concealer, and just spot treatment those, but still have all of the rest of my freckles and coloring coming through. You can see that dewy finish. So when I ask people, do you want dewy? This is what dewy means. It looks, it catches the light. It has that youthful glow to it. So that is how you achieve light to medium coverage with these products. Chick-fil-A of grocers, says Amy. My Chick-fil-A people aren't super nice. Are they like, they're not mean, but I wouldn't call them Starbucks or Trader Joe's nice. They're just... And also, I don't go there that often. I know it's blasphemy, but we just got our Chick-fil-A a year or two ago, and I just don't go that often. It's just how it is. I find their kids' meal toys not to be that exciting, and so my kids love the chicken nuggets, but if I'm doing it to reward them like once in a blue moon, those toys are the first ones to go. So we'll see. But I do enjoy their sandwich at Chick-fil-A. Right, enough of me talking about food. I am going to go finish the rest of my face. I might even finish it on Instagram. I don't know. I might finish it offline. Who knows what I'm going to do, but I wanted to come here and definitely show you about this product, let you know about the special. Any foundation, any concealer or brush, and then if you wanted an upgrade, you could for any primer. Really get you either your staples at a 50% discount. It's crazy, crazy how good it is. So just stock up while it's on sale, or try something new, or gift it to somebody. This is just one of my favorite bundles, so I wanted to make sure that I came in and demonstrated it. As I said, I'll be coming in with more videos to share with you different types of foundations or primers that I have, let you know about some different techniques. And thank you so much. MinuteWithMary.com is your one-stop shop, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.